A normal man, nobody noticed. Every morning at exactly 6:30 a.m., Daniel sat on the same bench near the city bus stop. He wore the same grey jacket, the same black shoes, and carried the same old bag. People passed him every day, office workers rushing to their jobs, students staring at their phones, shop owners opening their shutters. Nobody noticed Daniel, not because he was invisible, but because he looked too normal. No one wondered who he was. No one asked why he sat there every single morning. No one cared, and Daniel was used to that. 10 years ago, Daniel was not sitting on benches. He was standing in meetings, wearing clean shirts, shaking hands, making plans. He had a small but growing business, a rented apartment, and a wife named Emma. They were not rich, but they were happy. Until one ordinary day changed everything. Daniel was driving home from work when his phone rang. It was the hospital. They told him Emma had collapsed at home. By the time Daniel reached the hospital, she was gone. No warning, no goodbye. Just silence. That night, Daniel sat alone in the hospital hallway, holding a bag of clothes that Emma had folded that same morning. From that moment, life stopped feeling real. After Emma's death, Daniel tried to continue. He went to work. He answered emails. He smiled when people spoke to him. But inside, something was broken. His business slowly failed. He missed meetings. He forgot deadlines. He stopped caring. One problem became many. Bills piled up. Friends slowly disappeared. Calls stopped coming. And one day, Daniel lost his apartment. That was the day he carried his life into one old bag. Now, Daniel lived a quiet routine. He slept at a shelter at night, woke up early, and sat on the same bench every morning. Why that bench? Because from there, he could see the window of the apartment where Emma once waved at him every morning. The building was still there. Their life was not. One cold morning, a young boy sat beside Daniel. The boy was around 10 years old, wearing a school uniform, holding a broken backpack. "Excuse me, sir," the boy said softly. "Do you know what time it is?" Daniel checked the old watch on his wrist. 7:10, he replied. The boy smiled. "Thank you." Then he didn't move. Daniel looked at him. "You're not late for school?" The boy shook his head. "I don't go anymore." Daniel didn't ask why. He knew some questions don't need answers. The next day, the boy came again. And the day after that. Slowly, they started talking. The boy's name was Leo. Leo lived with his mother. His father had left years ago. His mother worked 2 jobs. Leo felt invisible too. "I feel like nobody sees me," Leo once said, "even when I'm loud." Daniel smiled sadly. "I know that feeling." One morning, Leo asked, "What do you do, sir?" Daniel paused. "I used to build things," he said. "What kind of things?" "Dreams," Daniel replied quietly. Leo looked confused, but he smiled anyway. One day, Leo didn't come. Daniel waited. 7 o'clock, 7:10, 7:30. No Leo. The next day, still no Leo. On the 3rd day, Daniel felt something he hadn't felt in years. Worry. He stood up from the bench and walked to Leo's school address that Leo once mentioned. It took him an hour. When he reached the small house, he saw an ambulance outside. Leo's mother was crying. Leo had been hit by a car. He survived, but he needed expensive treatment. Daniel stood there, helpless, with no money, no power, no voice, or so he thought. That night, Daniel didn't sleep. He opened his old bag. Inside were papers, old business plans, design sketches, ideas he once believed in. For the first time in years, Daniel felt purpose. The next morning, Daniel didn't sit on the bench. He went to a local workshop, asked for small jobs, worked for food, He fixed things, cleaned floors, helped wherever he could. Weeks passed. Daniel saved every coin. He shared Leo's story online using a library computer. No drama, no lies, just truth. Something unexpected happened. People listened. Donations came in, small at first, then more. Leo got his treatment. He survived. Months later, Daniel was back on the bench. But this time, he wasn't alone. Leo sat beside him, healthy, smiling. "You saved me," Leo said. Daniel shook his head. "No," he said softly. "You saved me." People still passed them. Some noticed. Most didn't. But Daniel didn't care anymore because he learned something important. You don't need a big life to matter. You don't need money to be valuable. And you don't need to be noticed to change a life. Sometimes, the most ordinary people carry the most powerful stories.